The Lakers could be setting the stage for another busy offseason. A rising Denver Nuggets forward is now being linked with Los Angeles. Rui Hachimura's future has become increasingly uncertain as multiple teams show interest, and the Lakers have officially made a contract decision on Chris Manon. Before we dive into the details, subscribe to SkyHook Report for daily Lakers news, trade rumors, and exclusive updates. Let's get started.
Imagine for a second the ultimate NBA offseason heist, where the Los Angeles Lakers could not only secure a massive upgrade for their own championship rotation, but simultaneously rip a vital piece of the defensive core right out of a bitter Western Conference rival. That is exactly the scenario playing out right now, as the Lakers front office typically checks in on every major talent available, making Denver Nuggets star Peyton Watson a highly relevant name out west. The urgency to build a flawless roster right now cannot be overstated. When you look at the landscape of the modern NBA, the before and after comparison of contending teams usually hinges on one specific archetype: the elite, versatile wing. The Lakers are constantly on the hunt for two-way upgrades, and in targeting Watson, they would be acquiring a player just entering the prime of his early career, having established himself as one of the top 3-and-D wings hitting the free agency market this offseason. But executing this kind of front office maneuver comes with an immense amount of conflict and salary cap drama. At just 23 years old, Watson is entering the summer as a restricted free agent, meaning the Nuggets hold significant leverage and are fully expected to put up a massive fight to retain him. If Rob Pelinka and the Lakers submit a strong offer sheet, Denver possesses the right to match it, which means Los Angeles might just end up doing the structural legwork for the Nuggets' payroll. However, insider Jake Fisher of the Stein line recently reported a massive potential turning point. The Nuggets would reportedly only hesitate to match an offer if Watson's average annual salary pushes him into the eye-watering $30 million range. Adding to the pressure, the Lakers aren't the only franchise circling the waters here. Both the Chicago Bulls and the Los Angeles Clippers are aggressively keeping an eye on Watson as a potential target. When you dive into the facts and the sheer numbers, it becomes crystal clear why a bidding war is brewing. Coming out of UCLA as the 30th overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft, originally selected by the OKC Thunder before having his rights traded to Denver, Watson has developed on a phenomenal trajectory.
After a quiet rookie season, he played 80 games in his sophomore campaign, leading up to an absolute breakout during the 2025-2026 season. Stepping up to start a career-high 40 games out of the 54 he played, Watson delivered outstanding production, averaging 14.6 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 1.1 blocks per game. According to Bleacher Report's Grant Hughes, who named Watson a top 3 offseason target for Los Angeles, 3-and-D wings are musts on any Doncic-led team, making Watson a player who perfectly fits the bill. From a pure basketball analysis standpoint, the risk versus reward here is the defining question of the Lakers' offseason. Handing a $30 million annual contract to a 23-year-old restricted free agent is a massive financial commitment that eats up crucial cap flexibility, but the reward could be the final piece of the championship puzzle. You simply cannot have too many versatile wings in today's spacing-heavy game. Plugging an elite switchable defender and capable scorer like Watson next to Luka Doncic completely changes the dynamic of the starting five, covering defensive gaps while providing necessary floor spacing. It elevates the Lakers from a playoff contender to an absolute juggernaut in the Western Conference. But the ultimate question falls to you, Lakers Nation. Is Peyton Watson, the franchise cornerstone, worth a $30 million gamble to complete the Luka Doncic era? Or is the front office walking into a massive salary cap trap set by the Denver Nuggets?
Could the Los Angeles Lakers be on the terrifying verge of losing the most lethal three-point shooter in their entire playoff history directly to the reigning Western Conference champions? The clock is ticking, and the Los Angeles front office undeniably has its work cut out for them this summer. Before last season, Rui Hachimura was viewed as a highly valuable piece, but fast forward to today, and he has completely transformed himself into one of the premier stretch fours in the entire association. After coming off an incredibly impressive 2025-2026 season, he has proven his immense worth on the offensive end of the floor, creating a situation where there was a massive amount of uncertainty regarding his future in Los Angeles. The drama here is absolutely off the charts, because the Lakers are staring down stiff competition on the open market, and the teams coming after him are no joke. According to plugged-in NBA insiders Mark Stein and Jake Fisher, Hachimura is receiving serious interest from the Brooklyn Nets, but far more dangerously, he is heavily targeted by the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs are fresh off a Western Conference championship run and are actively looking to resolve veteran forward Harrison Barnes' future as he heads into unrestricted free agency, making Rui a prime candidate to step right into a title-contending rotation. If San Antonio comes calling with the immediate promise of competing for a ring, or if the Nets throw a massive bag of guaranteed money on the table that Los Angeles simply cannot afford to match under the salary cap, the Lakers could watch their elite floor spacer walk out the door for nothing.
The statistics surrounding Hachimura's recent campaign show exactly why he is commanding so much attention. Despite having to adjust to a fluctuating role where he started only 41 of the 68 regular season games he played, the Japanese forward didn't miss a single beat offensively. He elevated his outside stroke to historical levels, shooting a scorching 44.3% from deep in the regular season, which is the second best mark of his career, trailing only his 2021-2022 campaign. But when the bright lights of the postseason hit, Rui became downright unstoppable. He shot an unbelievable 56.9% beyond the arc, setting a brand new Lakers franchise record, and cemented his legacy as an NBA record 50.8% career playoff shooter from three-point range. Analyzing the impact of this potential departure, the Lakers are caught in a brutal bind between offensive firepower and defensive liability. While Rui doesn't necessarily excel on the defensive end of the floor, a 28-year-old forward who can create his own shot and knock down half of his playoff threes is an incredibly rare asset. Surrounding a generational playmaker like Luka Doncic requires lethal floor spacers to keep driving lanes open. Losing Hachimura severely compromises the spacing of this roster. The risk of letting him go to a direct Western Conference rival like the Spurs could shift the balance of power in the playoffs. The front office must decide if the luxury tax hit is worth keeping this historical shooting production intact. Lakers fans, I have to ask you, do you break the bank to keep Rui Hachimura away from the San Antonio Spurs, or is it time to let him walk and rebuild the defense?
What if I told you that the key to unlocking the Los Angeles Lakers perimeter defense next season isn't a blockbuster trade or a max contract signing, but rather a hidden gem who was already quietly sitting at the end of head coach JJ Redick's bench? The NBA offseason is officially in high gear, and while the mainstream media is obsessed with the superstars the front office wants to add around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, building a legitimate championship contender always comes down to decisions made on the margin. Before today, there was a looming question about how the Lakers would handle their internal developmental pieces, but we just got our answer on a critical defensive asset. The front office has officially tendered a qualifying offer to defensive-minded guard Chris Manon, making the Vanderbilt product a restricted free agent this summer and signaling that they are heavily invested in his potential. This move directly addresses a glaring roster need, but it isn't without its own set of high-stakes drama. Because Mannon is now a restricted free agent, he is fully allowed to go out and sign an offer sheet with any competing franchise in the league. The Lakers retain the right to match any offer to keep him in purple and gold, but it forces Rob Pelinka to carefully monitor his market value. The real conflict here is his NBA track record versus his upside. After signing a two-way contract with the team back in July 2025, the 24-year-old guard barely saw the floor for the main roster last season, appearing in only 9 games and logging a mere 5.1 minutes per contest under JJ Redick. Is he genuinely part of the long-term rotation in Los Angeles, or just a summer league placeholder who might get poached by a rival team willing to offer guaranteed rotation minutes? To understand why the Lakers made this calculated move, you have to look at the undeniable facts from his phenomenal campaign with the South Bay Lakers. In 46 G League games last season, Mannon was an absolute force, averaging 11.6 points, 6.0 rebounds, and
2.4 assists while shooting a highly efficient 51.2% from the floor. But his true calling card, and the reason he holds NBA value, is his suffocating defense. He averaged an incredible 2.1 steals per game, shooting 31.5% from beyond the arc on offense, and made the G League's all-defense team. Mannon even finished second in the voting for the G League Defensive Player of the Year, finishing only behind Texas Legends center Jamarian Sharp. He was part of a deep developmental roster, including guys like William Kyle III, Robert McRae V, Robbie Avila, Chase Ross, Jakari White, and two-way players like Drew Timme and Christian Coloco. Now, Mannon is expected to join second-year forward Adu Fierro and rookie Cameron Carr on the Lakers Summer League squad. Evaluating this from a broader strategic perspective, this is an absolute masterclass in low-risk, high-reward roster construction by the Lakers front office. When you have elite offensive engines like Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves commanding the backcourt, you desperately need physical, defensive-minded bulldogs who can take on the toughest perimeter assignments without demanding high usage on offense. The upside of securing a 24-year-old guard with G League Defensive Player of the Year runner-up credentials is exactly how elite teams extend their championship windows while managing the luxury tax. Retaining his restricted rights ensures they don't lose a potential rotation piece for nothing. Will Chris Manon be the diamond in the rough that elevates the Lakers' bench defense, or will a rival GM swoop in and steal LA's developmental prize?